Hey guys, it's Luke Yon, and I was actually about to start filming a different video when Tahereh Mafi decided to drop the news of the century and announce a new book in the Shatter Me series. So I was just, on Instagram yesterday, and I saw that she posted that there is going to be news on the todayshow.com, website. And so I was really excited, and I was like, I was so hyped when I went to sleep last night, and this morning I kept refreshing the website over and over and over again because there was no set time that the news would be announced. So I was like, okay, let me just keep refreshing and see if anything pops up, and lo and behold, at around 9 o'clock, I saw an article, and I already read the whole thing, but I just need to discuss the article in depth. Probably 2 people are going to care about this video, but I don't care. So I'm going to screen share for a second, and I don't really know. I guess I'll put it here somewhere, so bear with me. So I see Shatter Me author Tahereh Mafi announces spin-off series and first book, Watch Me. And so I'm like, oh. And I scroll down a little bit. It says, Tahereh Mafi is back with a new story set in the Shatter Me universe. Today.com can exclusively reveal that Watch Me, the first book in a spin-off series, will debut April 15, 2025. Less than a year away, mind you, and will be set 10 years after the events of Imagine Me, the 6th and final installment of her original dystopian young adult series. The story will be told from the perspectives of 2 new leads, though one may be familiar to those who read the original books. So I'm reading that, and I'm thinking, okay, who could it possibly be about? I think Kenji for a second, I think Nazira, but then I'm like, wait, it's 10 years ahead, this is still young adult, it has to be someone younger. And then there's a quote from Tahereh Mafi, and the beautiful cover, which I saw, and I just think it is so amazing. I love how it matches the original series, but it also feels like a new story. It has like the holographic edges. This is like the deluxe edition, which I will be pre-ordering, and it has like just a really cool color tone, although a lot of Tahereh's books in the last couple of years have had like a blue, pink, purple sort of vibe. Like this looks very similar to the color palette of All This Twisted Glory, which is okay, but I'm excited to see what some of her other covers will look like, and I hope they do deviate a little bit to be some more colors. But this quote says, I love these books, I love these worlds, and I think it's really incredible that the books are still in print, that people are still reading them. The idea that I could just come back and play in this world in and of itself is really extraordinary. And then it gives a little information about Shatter Me, and then it says, Watch Me will mark Mafi's 12th book written for young adults, including her ongoing fantasy series, This Woven Kingdom. And I have been waiting for This Woven Kingdom Book 4 news for months, and Tahereh did say that she would talk about it a little bit today, so maybe that will come later, and I'll insert something here. And then she says, what I love most about young adult in particular is that we can write about darkness. We do in fact write about darkness, but always with the hope of reaching light, reaching hope. And then it, gives a little bit more information about Shatter Me, and then it says, Watch Me will follow 2 new perspectives, James Anderson, the younger brother of Warner and Adam, and Rosabelle Wolfe, a brand new character. So I was doing some mathematics in my head. If James is 11 in the series, and this is set 10 years after, then he'll be 21. And then it says, readers may remember James as a vivacious but sheltered 11-year-old from the Shatter Me series. He's since had to grow up in a post-revolution world after Julia and Warner led the fight to end the re-establishment. To note, while the re-establishment fell, it never fully died out, Mafi says. Like Juliet at the start of the series, Watch Me will open with James, now 21, in prison. His personality is not exactly like Warner and not exactly like Adam. He has a much brighter personality. He's a little bit more like his pseudo-uncle Kenji. His internal battle and with his family is that they keep treating him like a child, which we know if we've read the original series. And then it gives a little bit of information about Rosabelle, who was trained, from a young age by the re-establishment, and she is going to become an assassin and a poster child for the government. And then Tahereh says she has a very, very, very complicated relationship with the re-establishment and her position in it. And then it says, Watch Me is set on Ark Island, a final stronghold of the reestablishment defined by its status as a surveillance state, where, Roosevelt lives, and then it kind of goes on later to say that James is able to infiltrate it, and that's why he is imprisoned at the start of the story. And I'm really interested to know where Ark Island is. Like, my first immediate thought was, like, Ark, like, the way it's spelled, A-R-K, is, like, Noah's Ark, like, that, like, Turkey area, like, Mount Ararat, like, could it be set around there? Could it be, like, some islands, near North America, or around North America, like Hawaii, or, some islands in the Bahamas? And then it says, Roosevelt lives in a mental cage, tight and cold, or at least appears to be, whereas James is warm, so it's like the grumpy sunshine dynamic. And then it shows the hardcover for Watch Me, and the quote on it says, "In my dreams I am safe, I have a strong hand to hold, a door to lock against the dark, a trusted ear into which I whisper my fears. In my dreams I am patient and kind, I have room in my heart for more pain than my own, I am not afraid to smile at strangers, I have never witnessed death, in my dreams," and so on. So the new series will be titled the Shatter Me series of the New Republic. It's like standalone, and then we are going to see, like, Juliet and Warner, it seems, and then there is the official description below, so let's take a little moment to read that. It says, James Anderson had a plan, or half of one. All that matters is that he managed to do what his older brother, the famous Aaron Warner Anderson, never did. Infiltrate Ark Island, the last refuge of the reestablishment. In the past decade, no outsider has breached the stronghold of the authoritarian regime, but James is in. In a prison cell, sure, but as far as James is concerned, a win is a win. It's been 10 years since the fall of the reestablishment. 10 years since the notorious duo, Juliet Ferrars and Aaron Warner Anderson, led a worldwide rebellion and established the New Republic of the West. But after a decade of unsettling quiet, the reestablishment is ready to make a devastating move, and they have the perfect person for the job. Roosevelt Wolf had a plan. She always has a plan. On Ark Island, where constant surveillance is packaged as security, even emotions must be experienced with caution. A trained assassin, her every movement is monitored by synthetic intelligence, and when she's given an order to kill, she never hesitates. Brimming with pulse-pounding action and torturous romance, Watch Me is an explosive journey through a dystopian landscape where enemies to lovers has never felt more impossible. Step into a beloved and breathtaking world that demands an answer to a desperate question. Who are we when no one is watching? So I'm really excited for this book, obviously, because it is set in the Shatter Me universe, but I'm also really interested in seeing from James's point of view. Like, I remember when Tahereh did an Instagram live after Imagine Me came out, and someone asked her if she would ever write, like, a novella or a story from James's point of view, and she said she never thought about it, so I'm interested in possibly hearing from her as to why she decided to, like, do this book from his perspective, and I think it's really interesting that it's set 10 years after, so that we can kind of see what's been going on since the end of Imagine Me, but not, like, immediately after. I think that was, like, one of the problems with the second half of the Shatter Me series, where it took place, like, directly after Ignite Me. So it kind of had, like, less room to explore different things about the world, whereas this one I think will have a lot to, we'll have a lot of stuff to discuss and unpack. And I'm really excited to read about Roosevelt. I think she seems like a really interesting character. She seems kind of like Juliet if she had decided to work for the reestablishment and use her powers for, like, evil, I guess, is the right term. So I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for their dynamic, and I just had to make a video to talk about it and discuss it because I'm so excited for more in the Shatter Me universe. I will take anything Tahereh Mafi writes. I know a lot of people are like, just leave what's been done in the past, but I'm excited. I think this will be really good, and I think it'll be fun to revisit this world from some new eyes. That was also, like, another thing about the second half of the trilogy, which kind of, like, muddled it a little bit, because we're with the same characters. Like, yes, we did get Warner and Kenji's POVs added on, but I think it was kind of like Tahereh Mafi was a little bit stuck, and she had to kind of, like, in order to create new stories, she had to, like, do some retconning and stuff, so that is, like, what led to certain parts of the second half of the trilogy that I didn't love. So I think now that we are, as I said, like, a decade in the future, and from new perspectives, one who we've never seen before, and one who is a character that we know, whose perspective we've never explored, I think will help this book succeed in ways that the second half of the trilogy maybe didn't meet fully. So, yeah, I'm really, really interested, and I do just want to talk about the cover a little bit because I think it's really interesting. It definitely has a more like a dystopian feel. Like you can see there's kind of like those weird lines on it that kind of look like computer sort of stuff, which could, you know, have something to do with the surveillance aspect of Ark Island. And then there's like constellations, there's some stars, there's moons, and then the eye, I don't know if it's supposed to be like either James or Rosabella's eyes, but I think it's really interesting. And Watch Me is definitely seems like a fitting title from the premise that we just read, because obviously it's about like a surveillance island, so that could be really cool. And I do just want to click on the link that Tahereh Mafi shared because it like leads to a part of the Epic Reads website. So it says, new from Tahereh Mafi, coming April 15th, 2025. That's honestly so soon. Like, it's basically the end of August, so September, that's like 4 months, like basically 8 months away, which is definitely an easy wait. So, okay, the Watch Me Deluxe Limited Edition. Okay, shimmery jacket with holographic foil, gorgeous design end papers, foil case design with a quote from the novel, which we saw, and stunning holographic edges. So this is definitely something I will be pre-ordering, and we can see, are those like gummy bears? I don't know, but whatever. That'll be really cool, and I guess the first 3 chapters of Watch Me are in the Shatter Me Collector's Edition. I'm very optimistic about this series. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't think they have it said, but hopefully it is a good length, and I just am really interested to see from James's point of view and see what this new character is all about, and also just know, you know, what's been happening with our favorite characters in the last 10 years. I think it'll be really fun and interesting because it's like, when you think about it, it technically has been 10 years since like the events of Imagine Me, because, you know, Shatter Me, the first book, came out in 2011, and basically every book, even though yes, there was like 9 years between Shatter Me and Imagine Me, it was like a year's worth of time in the story world, so it's kind of been 10 years, a little over 10 years since Shatter Me, and 10 years since like the end of the sequence of events. It makes sense in my head. I don't know if I explained it well just now, but I think it's really cool, and I definitely am excited to see how the reestablishment has developed and what this next step in the world of, or the Shatter Me universe will be. So yeah, that is it for this video. I really just had to talk about this, and I will definitely be making theory videos, and absolutely we'll be doing a reading vlog for Watch Me when it releases next spring. So I would love to know what your thoughts are on the new book, what your thoughts are on the cover, any predictions you may have, and let's just talk about this new addition to the series, and hopefully we get some This Woven Kingdom book 4 news soon as well. But yeah, that is it for this video. I really hope you all enjoyed. All of my social media links are in the description box below, and I'll see you soon for a new video. Bye!